This is one of the most fun slasher designs in horror movie history. Now, you may notice that I'm not saying it's the best. I'm not saying, it's the most inventive. It's the most fun. The movie Drive-Thru came out in 2007. Touted as a horror slash comedy, Drive-Thru is essentially everything you think of when you imagine a terrible, terrible B slasher movie, but with a bit of a higher budget. The acting is just good enough that it's to the point where it can't really be called so bad that it's good. The budget is just high enough that you can't excuse poor choices because they didn't have enough money. The production quality, the props, the costuming is almost there, so you can't really say, oh, it looks so funny that it's great to get drunk with friends and laugh at it. It just is on that precipice of being a good horror movie. And when it doesn't reach that point, that makes it all the more worse. But the concept is very, very fun. You've got the main killer, who is a drive-through speaker from a fast food restaurant, or at least that's what he's dressed as. The killer's voice comes through full of static, and it's garbled, just like an actual drive-through speaker from a rundown fast food place where people probably spit in the food. And essentially, all of the little touches are there. The killer design is spot on. However, where this movie falls apart is the story. Now, most slasher movies have pretty two-dimensional characters. You're just supposed to get to know a little bit about them, and then you get to watch them die almost immediately. But Drive-Thru looked at that and said, nah, we're going to stop at one. Just one dimension. That's fine. And as such, none of the characters are really knowable, likable, interesting, buffering. So when people start dropping like flies, it's really difficult to actually give a shit, and the kills aren't spectacular enough for those to carry the movie. Like, you can write one-dimensional characters, but you gotta make the kills really interesting and compelling so that, it actually matters and you actually care about what's going on the screen. But as it stands, Drive-Thru is a bit of a slog. It's not really entertaining enough to say, well, watch this. You have to see it. You have to experience it at least once. But if you are a fan of just interesting creature design, interesting concepts, in terms of like killers and things like that, then this motherfucker. Then this might be something that you want to see at least once. The story makes no sense. A lot of the scenes are completely nonsensical, and the film itself is just kind of gross and fucking dumb. It's brain dead. The story fucking sucks. Like the fast food company is called Hella Burger, and the character, the demon clown, which is the mascot of Hella Burger, is called Horny the Clown, and it just is so bad. It's so bad, and I would definitely say it's not so bad that it's good, but it is worth just watching to see how people can completely squander a budget and some pretty good effects. The biggest travesty, however, of this movie is the fact that when you watch a slasher film, when you watch a costumed character movie who's going around killing a bunch of teenagers, you want the reveal of who the killer is to be something important. You want like that Scream moment. Like after Scream came out, you cannot have a movie where the reveal is disappointing, because that just fucks the entire thing. And unfortunately, in Drive-Thru, the reveal of who the killer is just nothing, and just who cares, and it's bland, and it's obvious, and, lends nothing to the story whatsoever. Now, that may be a bit of a spoiler, but then again, you're never going to watch this movie, so who gives a shit? I mean, San Guano. You get the idea. It's fucking awful. How did they get these actors? How did they get these people? They're competent. How did they get them in this movie? I'm so sorry to everyone who appeared in this film. I apologize personally for what Hollywood did to you. So what I would say is this, okay? Here's my recommendation. If you're having a bad horror movie marathon and you need some filler, throw this in there. Throw Drive-Thru on the pile. Put it like in the middle of like 5 films, sandwich it between two ones that are more interesting to watch. And, maybe you'll get some quotable lines out of this. Maybe you'll get some memorable scenes. The most quotable line, the most quotable line in this entire film, I think, is, quote, "Where's your shitter?" But, yeah, maybe you'll get something out of it. But just throw it on the pile with maybe like Fear.com and, some other really horrible, horrible horror movies. And, you'll have a good time. Just don't watch it by itself expecting, some kind of enjoyable experience. Because you're just going to get mad halfway through and turn it off. And I guess I should do like some kind of system with these videos where I talk about movies. So I give this horror movie a 5 out of 10. It's closer to a 4 than a 6. In Blanca Carne, California. In White Meat, California, the 17-year-old student Mackenzie Carpenter is celebrating her graduation. What is it with horrible filmmakers and naming characters Carpenter? You don't have the right to do that. Is celebrating her graduation in high school with her boyfriend, Fisher Kent, and his classmates. Mackenzie receives messages about her close friends while they are murdered by Horny the Clown, the symbol of the Helleberger fasts food. The symbol of the Helleberger fasts food. On the eve of her 18th birthday and after the death of a couple friends, Mackenzie realizes that all of them are connected to a dark event in the past of her mother, Marcia Carpenter. Further, she will be in danger on the day of her birthday. Claudio Carvalho of Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, you did a fine job. By the way, I don't know what the lead actress of this film went on to do. I guess I'll check it out. But I do love her name. Leighton Meester. Leighton Meester. Leighton Meester.
Just get them out of the play space, okay?
Whatever. Where's your shitter?